Hello, good morning, and today is October 2nd, and today's reading is going to be from The Soul Companion by author Tian Dayton. She was someone I came across many, many years ago, and I bought all of her books, and this is one of the daily reading ones. And today's story is about family stories. My life is a journey. It is my story. Though it may not be recorded in history books, it is mythic proportions for me and for those close to me. Sharing personal stories enrich those who come after me. I am inspired and led by the stories of my elders. Family stories have special meaning because I feel the right to identify with them. They help me to know my own personal history, to write the book of my life. Each person in my family has travelled on his or her own journey, own vision quest. Hearing about how my relatives have sought meaning helps me have the courage to seek my own. The trials that they have blazed feel like mine to walk on and then to bequeath to my progeny. I will listen to and share family stories. In short, the soul journey resembles very much the sort of adventure one encounters in folklore and myth. According to archaic view, all men apparently had the chance to become a sort of Odysseus, whether they liked it or not. It's small writing. I'm a little bit less good at reading from a book that's small with small font. Family stories. I don't have many of my older family left. I think I only have one aunt, and I do love spending time with her and hearing family stories. She has told me stories about things I didn't know about my parents and my grandparents, and I have shared with her stories that she didn't know about my parents and my family. So, there is that communication that we can have with each generation. And I think that's why I am inspired to share my stories, my lifetime, especially with my children, so that they have those stories. And I have them written down in a couple of books, which are not published yet, and may or may never be published, may or may not be published. Maybe I've written them just for them, so that when I'm not here anymore, they find them and they read my story. But I am hopeful that one day I will be a published author. That's one of my things on my bucket list, and hopefully not too far down the line with my bucket list. So yeah, family history is important, but we are all trailblazers of our own story, and we are not our parents, and our children are not us. And that's something that I learned years ago, and it's something that made life easier for me. That I am not my mother, and my daughters are not me. And, they're not going to turn into me. Yes, they will have elements of things that I have passed on to them, and they will hear themselves saying, "Oh gosh, I sound like my mother," as I do, when I sound like my mother. And that was something I never wanted to do. I never wanted to be like my mother. But my mother was, she was a complicated person. And, she had very strong points. She had, massive strong points about her personality, but she had weaknesses. And as a daughter, I focused in on the weaknesses, unfortunately. And I think sometimes our children focus in on our weaknesses, and it takes them to read the story that came before we were parents to put it into perspective that we are just human. We are their parents, and my mother was my mother. But before that, she was, a child, a woman, in love, and then a young mum, and then kind of motherhood takes over, doesn't it? And we kind of get lost in all the hats that we wear. So anyway, it's approaching 5 minutes, and I don't speak for longer than that because I want to keep it brief so that you'll keep coming back for more. And I wish you a wonderful Monday. And I'm sending out love to anyone who hears this. And think a little bit about your family history and where you fit in. It can sometimes help you if you remember your children are not you and you are not your mother. Okay, bye now.